The woman in this story is called Maya. She lived in a busy city. She took the same bus each morning. She walked past crowded streets, small shops, and a market with bright fruit and loud sellers. Maya worked as a sales manager at a company called Clearline Textiles. She had a steady job and a tidy apartment on the third floor above a bakery. She liked order. She liked plans. She had saved money and she trusted facts more than feelings. She believed that people show their true selves through the things they own and the work they do. This belief shaped the way she met the man who would change her life. One afternoon in August, rain came quickly. Maya was late for a meeting. She stood under the bakery roof and watched people run for cover. A small pattern of water made the street shine. A man sat on a low plastic stool near a street lamp. His shirt had a small tear, and his shoes had mud on them. He held a paper bag with 3 oranges. He looked calm. When a child pushed past and dropped a small notebook, the man picked it up and ran after the child to return it. Maya watched him. In her mind, she made a quick story. A poor man trying to get by. She smiled to herself and walked away. She did not speak to him that day. Over the next weeks, Maya saw him again. He sold boiled cassava at a food stall. He fixed a broken cartwheel for a woman without asking for money. He carried heavy water jerry cans to an old neighbor's doorway. He read letters to an elderly man who could not see well. He sat quietly on the bus when it was full, holding his cap in his hands. Maya noticed these things. She felt curious. She also felt uneasy. To her, these acts did not change one fact. He had no sign of wealth. He did not own a car. He wore simple clothes. He had no phone that flashed with messages. Maya thought he was kind but poor. She kept her distance. Still, she watched. One morning, Maya left her umbrella in a taxi. It was a day of bright sun. The man she had seen in the market stood by the tea stall and saw her glance left and right. He walked over and offered his umbrella. He said in a clear voice, "Take this. The sun will be strong." Maya took it. She felt small inside. She felt grateful and ashamed at the same time. They talked a little. His name was Daniel. He spoke slowly and with care. He lived 2 streets away in a small room behind his sister's shop. He said he worked many small jobs. He cleaned a clinic, helped a carpenter when he could, and sold food from a small tray in the market. He said he liked to help people when they needed it. Maya told him about her office and her plans. Their meeting was simple. It started a slow friendship. As months passed, their friendship grew. Daniel came to sit with Maya at the market when she took her lunch. He brought a small loaf of bread to her mother when her mother was ill. He read a note from Maya's son when the boy could not make it to school. He did things without talk. At the same time, Maya felt pressure. Her friends asked why she spent time with someone who had no money. Her sister warned her that she should aim higher. Maya wanted respect. She wanted a partner who carried a clear name and a clear history. One evening at a work dinner, a colleague made a joke about people who sell on the street. Maya laughed with them. Daniel was not there, but later she thought about her laugh. She felt a small sting of guilt. She was not proud of how she had sounded. One day, Maya's boss asked her to meet an investor. He wanted to see someone who could help Clearline expand. Maya prepared a strong presentation. She wore a new dress and polished her shoes. She felt ready. At the building where the investor waited, a car pulled up. A man in a clean suit got out, but it was not Daniel. After the meeting, as Maya left the office, she saw a small boy crying near the building gate. The boy's bread had fallen. A food seller stood near and looked upset. Daniel appeared. He had a small tray of snacks and a cloth bag. He crouched down and cleaned the boy's knees. He offered the seller the money for the bread he had lost. Maya watched from the gate. She felt a push inside her. In front of the investor and in front of her new colleagues, she thought that Daniel should behave more like the investor, more like a person who would impress others. That thought made her step forward and speak harshly to him later in a small market dispute. She told him he should always look neat if he wanted respect. The words came from her fear of being judged. Daniel listened. He did not raise his voice. He walked away slowly. Daniel stopped coming to the market where Maya met him. He stopped visiting her mother. Maya missed him, but also felt relief. She told herself that this distance was right. A week later, Clearline Textiles announced a new partner. A well-known business group had bought a large part of the company. The company changed names on signs. People were excited and nervous. Maya came to the office and found a large photo on the wall of a man in a suit. It was Daniel. At first she thought she was mistaken. She walked closer. The caption read, Mr. Daniel Grant, chair of Grant Holdings, new partner. Her hands shook. She read the small printed notes below. The business group had invested a large sum. They had bought a stake to save the company from bad debts. Daniel Grant's name was on the list of the main investors. He was the chair. The man who sat on a plastic stool with a paper bag now sat in the offices of the company. He had a clean suit in the photo. He had a thin gold pin on his lapel. Maya found Daniel in the staff tea room. He sat quietly, not like a man who owned a business. He had the same calm face she had seen when he returned a child's notebook. She could not speak for a long time. She asked him one question. Why did you hide this? He looked at her simply and said, I did not hide everything. I wanted to know the truth about a few things. He told her a short story. He had money, yes. He had a name and business people who knew him. But 5 years before, he lost a partner in a court battle. He lost control of a company to people who used lies and power. Daniel sold everything quietly and started again from small things. He worked in the market so he could learn what real needs were. He walked in the city every day to see the small gaps where help was needed. When he had enough again, he chose to invest in companies that mattered to workers and customers, not to show off. He said he wanted to help Clearline because he believed the workers were good and the product was honest. Maya listened. She felt many things at once: shame, relief, and a heavy regret. She remembered how she had laughed with colleagues when she should have been calm. She saw how Daniel had never asked for praise. He had been careful with small money and careful with people. He had used small returns to buy an old factory and to make a new home for workers who had lost jobs. Daniel held no show of power in that tea room. He did not demand apology. He said, I did not tell you because I wanted to see how people acted without pressure. I needed to know who would care if I had nothing, and who would only stay for a name. Maya knew he meant her. She felt the truth hit her. She thought she had been right about people and their things. She was wrong. She sat down and asked him to forgive her. She told him she had judged too fast. He looked at her and said, Your choice now shows what you feel. I will not remind you of this forever. He left the tea room with no anger. After that day, Maya changed little by little. She began to listen before she judged. She learned to ask questions and to watch actions. Clearline Textiles kept its workers. Daniel made small changes in the company that improved safety and pay for the factory workers. He stayed out of the bright office lights. He spent time in the back rooms and the workshops to see the work himself. Maya worked with him on a new plan to make uniforms for a school program. They spoke of steady work for the poor and of a fair price for small sellers in the market. Maya and Daniel did not move quickly into romance or easy partnership. They moved slowly. Trust takes time to grow. Maya apologized more than once, and Daniel forgave more than once. The truth had been hard for her, but the truth also set a new path. She found that a person can wear many faces in life. A clean suit and a plastic stool do not always tell the whole story. Kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel for more interesting stories.